And we're live a few seconds early. We're actually 6 seconds early. So how's everybody doing tonight? Good to see you on here tonight. Marty Baker, my number one fan. How are you tonight? I hope you got to go to church tonight. We got a little gnat in here. Need to kill it. And welcome, Invisible River Ranch. I hope you're doing well tonight. Also, I see that you got an auction, but you're listening. Okay, well, good. I hope you all had a wonderful Sunday. I did. I had a pretty good Sunday. Went to church this morning. Invisible River says he's doing good. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Invisible River. What you been up to this week? I've been very busy this week. I put out a video on Wednesday telling everybody about my new booths, my new flea market booths. And so this week is going to be a really busy week because I will be moving everything out of the booth that's in Wetumpka and putting it into one of the two booths in Montgomery. So Invisible River says paying up. Okay, I'm assuming you're talking about paying up for an auction that you're involved in. CG Enemy Fan, welcome. Glad you're on here tonight. I hope you're doing well tonight. You don't feel the best. So what do you got? Are you just sick tonight? Are you feeling a little bit like you got a fever or something like that? Your stomach okay? Sorry you don't feel well tonight, dude. Hope you do feel well better. I hope you feel well better soon. Marty says she went to church this morning and church tonight. Good. Glad you did. Invincible River is doing ranch work. I am really tired tonight. There's a lot of stuff in the mail in Wetumpka. I think it's, are you saying Wetumpka? In the mall. No, it's Wetumpka. It's Wetumpka. And that is a Native American word. I don't know what it means, but it is an American Native word, Wetumpka. And that is a city that is about 20 minute, 30 minute drive from Montgomery. And, that's where my booth is. Opened up my booth April 1st, not very long ago, only to be told around April 7th that that we were going to have to move at the end of the month. So I'm going to have to move my booth, and I'm not looking forward to it. I'm a little bit tired right now. All of a sudden it just kind of hit me, and I'm feeling a little bit tired tonight. So hope you guys will bear with me. If you're joining me after my live stream and you're watching this and you're not familiar with my channel, my channel's name is Retire Inspired. And my channel started out being called Side Hustle Sam. It was about my side hustles because I had a job with the state, which I retired from in January. Let me turn my different colors on. But anyway, I had a job with the state, which I retired from in January of 2024, where I was a licensed social worker, master's level licensed social worker. And, my job, I had reached the top of, where I could be in my job. I was the state director for adult protective services for the state of Alabama. So I was a social worker with a master's level license. I still am a licensed social worker, by the way, and I'm maintaining my license. I'm still, going to the trainings that I need to get my continuing education hours, so I can maintain my certification and keep that license for social work. It was very hard to obtain that license. I had to study for a long time, and then when I took the test, it was really difficult. So let's see. CJ says he's been feeling a little bit dehydrated for the last few days. Well, I hope you get to feeling better soon, CG. I hate to hear that you've been feeling dehydrated. Try to drink as much water as you can. Pedialyte is really good, and if you don't have Pedialyte, get some Gatorade and drink some Gatorade. Just get some fluids in you. Maybe have some chicken noodle soup or something like that. There's something to be said for chicken noodle soup. It really does help when you're sick. So Invisible River Ranch says, yes, a picker saying sometimes you got to pay up to have good stuff. That's true. Sometimes you do have to pay up in order to get good stuff. And welcome to the show, Brent Mania. Good to see you on here tonight. Didn't see you last week. We missed you. Hey, it's Fat Albert. We missed you last week, but I'm glad that you're here with us tonight. I hope you're having a good day. So tell us what you've been up to, Brent. Have you put out a new video on your YouTube channel yet? I've been looking for a new video. So if you haven't, then you got to get busy, dude. Want to see some more videos. Marty says, what's the temperature like up here? So I'm in Montgomery, Alabama. And if you look at the state of Alabama, it's like a big square with a little bump on the bottom. And I'm like in the middle of the state. Not quite in the middle of the state, because Birmingham is in the middle of the state. But Marty is down in the southern part of Alabama. So she is maybe a 30-minute drive from the Florida state line. Anyhow, it's a little bit warmer where she is than where I am. So we've had pretty decent temperatures today. It was pretty warm, like in the 80s, but not too terrible. Brent says, we haven't done a video on my YouTube channel in months. Don't know what to do. Well, just do whatever is natural. If you just want to get on there and talk for 10 minutes, do that. Or if you just want to talk for 5 minutes or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, just get in there and turn that camera on and post. Have fun with it, Brent. So CG says earlier in the week he saw the film Kraven the Hunter. It's pretty violent but good. I haven't seen that film. So what's that film about, CG? I did see your video about your top 100 movies. I did see that. And that was a pretty good video, CG. By the way, how are your book sales doing? I bought a book from CG that CG wrote. A pretty good little book. He did a good job on it. Oh, I am so tired tonight. I don't know what has got into me, but I am just really, really tired. So CG says earlier in the week, oh yeah, we already said that. Invisible River put a camera on his bird feeder. Wow, that's cool. So do you watch it live or do you just record it? Is it a live stream? Is it something that I could go to and watch? Kraven the Hunter is the origin story of Spider-Man villain Kraven. Okay, all right. Is Kraven the black spider? Invisible River live 360 cam. Okay, cool. That is pretty neat. Is that something? It's like one of these, like an Insta, like this one here. That's what I'm filming on right now. Is this Insta camera? You know, I didn't check to see if I was using my phone. I'm on Carter Hill. I am on my regular. I need to get on my phone Wi-Fi so that I can make sure I have a good signal tonight. So the last couple of live streams, I used my okay. So sorry for that brief interruption. I just transferred over to my Wi-Fi on my phone, so we shouldn't have any more interruptions. That was just me transferring over the Wi-Fi to my phone. Can you see me and can you hear me? So CG says sales have been slow, but it's okay. My time has been spent on my channel instead. Craven isn't a spider. He's a human that typically hunts Spider-Man. Okay. Oh, the outdoor camera. Okay. And Marty wants me to tell her aunt, which is my wife, Carol, hello. So I will. I definitely will. I have a couple of ideas for a video. I'll do them this week. Okay, good. I look forward to watching it, Brent. 360 times 4. You have 4 of the 360s. Oh, like it is a 360 camera, like you can look at the image and go around. Is recorded ones. Okay. Brent says, I hope everyone in the chat is doing well and had a good weekend. And CG says, I can see you and hear you. Okay, very good. Invisible River also says he can see me and hear me. Oh, okay. All right. So it's like you're standing, like you can move completely around it, like you're actually there physically with the camera. Brent says, I know there's a camera you can buy for birds, and when the bird comes up to it, it'll tell you on the smartphone what kind of bird it is and any information about the bird. Well, that is cool. I bet that is neat. I was looking up something on Amazon today, and I was looking up this. It was like a little statue of Blind Justice, and you know how Blind Justice is holding the scales of justice, and it's got the metal chain link, and on both sides there's a scale on either side. Well, I was looking that up, and I wanted to see what it looked like, so I looked it up on Amazon, and it gave me the option to like display it on a table that I had in my room. So I all I did was just push a button, and it was like I was looking at this object sitting on my table. Have y'all ever seen any of that? Marty says, love you. Love you too, Marty. She's my #1 fan. Invisible River Ranch. Just move your phone like you're there. Oh, yep, absolutely. And it moves to where you point it. Well, I'd love to be able to see that. Gumball Gold. Welcome, Gumball. How are you doing tonight? You know what? I've been a little bit under the weather today, and I'm just feeling a little bit sleepy and drowsy. Last week we got a little bit rowdy. So I'm gonna ring. So I'm gonna ring everybody up and give them the golden chicken. How's that? Invisible River says he found so many bird feeder people out there that he never knew there was. Okay. Like you're there at the ranch. I would love to see it if you can like send me a link or something like that. My email address, I'll put my email address in here so that you can send me a link to it. So there's my email address. So send me a link to your camera. I'd love to see it. Is that a dinner bell? No, it's a cowbell. It's just a noise maker. That's all it is. Something to make noise with. I have a couple of bells. I have that bell. Now this, I believe it is a dinner bell. This is a vintage bell. And I picked this up in my yard sale stuff. Trying to see if I can tighten this handle up just a little bit because it's loose. Doesn't look like it's going to tighten up any, but this is a old bell. My great grandmother had. Well, my camera is now going crazy. Come back down here, camera. Okay. So this is an antique bell. I just love bells, don't y'all? Invisible River says it's on his YouTube. Are you talking about my email address? Oh, your camera's on your YouTube. Okay. Brent says his dad likes birds. He has 10 bird feeders. You found that guy. I'm down. I'm there down some. Okay. CG says, thank you for watching my videos. I appreciate it. You're welcome. I enjoy watching your videos. Invisible River. Okay, there's a link to Invisible River's YouTube channel. And there is my brother Brad. Hey, Brad, how are you tonight? Good to see you. Invisible River says, just type without TM. So I got a question for you guys tonight. I kind of want your opinion on something. If you would give me your opinion, I would very much appreciate it. Collected over $120 today from a barbecue place. Wow. Well, that is great, man. You are doing good with those gumball machines. The location does over $100 every week. Okay, so Invisible River says he loves questions. Okay, so here's the question. Let's say you're a YouTuber and you have a live stream once a week, and people know exactly when your live stream is. And let's say somebody logs on to an account of a person who is deceased and gets on your live stream and leaves a message for someone that is deceased, that is no longer with us, on their account, on their YouTube account, while you're on a live stream. And it is actually your father who died last June. No, it was May. So, is that okay for somebody to get on a dead person's account and leave a message on a YouTuber's live stream? So tell me your opinions. I'm just curious. Just type without TM. Collected over $120 today from a barbecue place. Okay, we got that one. We love questions, and you're looking good. Thank you, Brad. I appreciate that. And Marty says hi to Uncle Brad. Okay, so Invisible River Ranch says, no, it's not okay. He says it's creepy. So you guys were on my live stream last week. And toward the end of, like, the last maybe 5 minutes of my live stream, somebody who I believe is in this live stream currently got on my dead father's account and left me a message. And it was very disturbing to me that they would do that. Marty says, no, it's not. It was getting your D people's accounts not funny. No, it's not funny at all. It actually kind of was kind of disturbed me. What was the message? I can't remember exactly the exact words that was used in the message, but it was something like "you're looking good" or "good to see you" or something about the live stream. So Brad says, yes, it was him, and it was not intentional. So if it was not intentional, I'm just curious why you were on our dead father's YouTube account watching me. Just curious. YouTube can do that to people. Yeah. Well, I figured it was you, Brad, but I didn't understand exactly why you did that. And it was kind of disturbing. Kind of bothered me. But anyway, I'm glad it wasn't intentional. You wouldn't believe the stuff I see sometimes. Well, I'm not going to stay on the negative. I try to keep my live streams positive as much as possible. But I am kind of out of energy tonight. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm just really tired all of a sudden. Okay. You said you created the account for Dad, but isn't that the account that he posted all of his videos on? Like 10 years ago? We cleared that up. Okay. Yeah, we did. We did clear it up, didn't we? So let's talk a little bit about this week and what I got going on this week. So it's going to be a really busy week, an extremely busy week. No, I don't think I'm sick, but it's like Marty is asking me if I'm sick. I don't think I'm sick, but it's like, have you ever like had a drain all of a sudden, like you felt like you could just go lay down and take a nap? But That's how I'm feeling right now. But anyway, so I've got a really busy week this week, and I will be having to move everything from, if you've been watching my videos, I'll be having to move everything from my booth in Wetumpka to Montgomery. So it's kind of been a double-edged sword with the flea market booths. So I have have been getting a lot more sales in the last 3 weeks than I would normally, because everybody is finding out that the flea market is closing. So a lot of the booths are having a real big sales, like 50%, 75% off. And so everyone's coming to catch the big sales. So it's going to be a really tough week because I have to have everything out of the booth by the 30th. And I think the 30th is Wednesday or Thursday. I'm not sure. Let's see. Today is the 27th. So 28, 29, 30. Yeah, the 30th will be Wednesday. So I have to have everything out of the booth by Wednesday. And I actually came across some really great deals. You know, these big glass showcases that people use in retail stores where they display things and you can lock it up in the back. Well, that's another one of the benefits of the flea market closing, is that I was able to, there were a couple other booths that were, instead of moving to another flea market, they just decided to get out of the business altogether. And there were some really nice showcases that I was able to get my hands on. So, and for really reasonable prices. And I'll be putting out another video. I don't think I'm going to put out a video this week because I've got so much to do getting the flea market stuff moved from one flea market to another. But I was able to buy 4 showcases, really nice glass showcases. I paid like $28 for one. I paid like $50 for another one. I paid $80 for another one, and then $100 for another one. And then I got a standing showcase that is taller than I am. And I'm 6 feet tall, or 5'11", and I got that for $35. So this is my plan. Let me catch up on my comments. So Brad says he understands how I feel. Okay, thank you. And not the same account from 10 years ago. Okay. CG says, I think that I feel the same way. Okay. Natural aging process. I felt awfully tired earlier too. Okay, so you're kind of feeling like I'm feeling tonight. New experience. Doctors tell me, remember, you're not 23 anymore. Yeah, I learned that. And Gumball Gold says, any sales in either booth. Okay, so the booths in Montgomery, I don't start them until May 1st. So I'll be moving stuff into the booths and getting them ready to sell stuff beginning May 1st. So, but what I was saying about the Wetumpka store closing, it has brought in a lot of foot traffic. A lot of people are coming into the store to visit and see what is in there, because they're having, like I was saying before, such large discounts, up to 75% off. Some people have 50% off. I've got 10% off on my booth. Everything in my booth is 10% off. And my sales have really done great since I've started the flea market booth there in Wetumpka. I think a lot of that is due to the fact that the flea market will be closing at the end of the month, and there's so many people in there. Every time I go in there, since they announced that they're closing, there's a long line of people, waiting to check out. So my first check that I got, they pay on the 15th and on the 1st. So I did get a check on the 15th of April, and my first check was pretty close to $500. And so, I felt like that was really good. I had a lot of these metal beer signs that I picked up at a yard sale for like $3 or $4 each. And I was selling them for like 40 and 50 and 30 and $10 for some of them. Some of the smaller ones were like $10. So that brought a lot of money. And then I had a couple of things that I had just had sitting around for a long time that were just collecting dust in my storage unit. One of them was a rocking horse that was an elephant, and I actually picked that up beside the road. It was from FAO Schwartz, which is a big department store, I think, in New York. But anyway, that sold for $65, and I picked that up beside the road about 3 or 4 years ago, and it's just been sitting around. It's one of those things that's too big to list on eBay, so I didn't feel like dealing with it on eBay. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to open a booth, is because I'm getting a lot more inventory that's either glass or either too big to ship. And so the combination of those things is what I'm putting in my booth. Now, when I get into my new booth in Montgomery, the two booths, one of them is actually inside of a boutique. And I have a whole bunch of boutique clothing, probably about 4,000 pieces of boutique clothing, new with tags. And so I have not had anywhere to unload that stuff to sell it. When I say unload it, I don't mean like I'm just passing trash. It's really good stuff. It's really nice, high-end, quality women's lingerie, women's boutique clothing, like tops, dresses, and that sort of thing, sweaters. So I'm going to put all that stuff in the booth that is the boutique store. I'm also going to sell other stuff in there, but most of that's all the clothing item is going to go in there. I can't sell clothing in the other booth. They won't let you sell clothing in there. A lot of flea markets are real picky about not letting you sell clothes or tennis shoes or shoes. They don't want it to turn into a big yard sale, I guess. So anyway, I'll be selling a lot of high-end boutique clothing in that one booth. The other booth, I have tons and tons of die-cast cars, NASCAR type die-cast cars. I have a lot of Hot Wheels, and I have something called Johnny Lightning. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's like Hot Wheels or Matchbox, and it's called Johnny Lightning. I got a whole bunch of that at a recent pick that I did. I probably got about 500 new in the box, in the on the paper, of those Johnny Lightning and Hot Wheels and different sort of die-cast stuff. So I bought a bunch of those hooks, and I'm going to put those on pegboard which is what I've got over at the flea market in Wetumpka. But I'm going to put those out, sell them for about $5 a piece. I paid for everything that I got, which most of it was that sort of thing. I paid $800 to George's son and got all that. Pandemonium. Okay, the more intelligent brother is here. Welcome, William Smith. Good to see you in here. So I got both of my brothers in here tonight. Invisible River says moving is another negative thing. Yeah, I agree. Wednesday the 30th, yes. The one booth in the place with all those levels is too far away from the main entrance, in my opinion. Okay. You may be right. I will say this. I went to that booth today. Not today. I went to that booth on Friday, or no, Thursday of last week, because I wanted to scope it out and check it out. There was a glass shelf on one side of the booth, and it was actually inside of the booth, and it was blocking off the booth from the other side of the booth. And I found out that the neighbor booth, all her stuff was on those shelves, and you actually had to come into the booth that I would have been renting in order to get those items that were on that shelf. So I asked them if they could ask her if she could move that shelf or something, because I needed to use that space to display my own stuff to sell. And so what ended up happening is I got a different booth, and it's actually a bigger booth, a lot bigger than the one I'm in, that I was going to be in, the blue one that I showed on my video. So I'm going to be getting a bigger booth, and I'm going to have a lot more space. I'll be able to display a lot more of the Inbox, Matchbox, and Hot Wheels and the Johnny Lightning cars in there. And I'm also going to be selling. I have tons of DVDs that I need to sell. So I'm also going to be putting up some shelves, and I'm going to be selling a bunch of DVDs in that booth as well. So I've got lots of really good plans, but one of the main things that I'm going to be putting in there, one of the reasons why I got all those glass cases, those locking glass cases, was so I can start putting my video game consoles that I sell on eBay in those booths and sell some of my video game consoles out of the booths there. But anyway, to make a long story a little bit shorter, I'll be having more traffic coming to that location because it's more. You'll see when I make the next video, it is closer to the stairs. When you come down off the stairs, it's almost like right there. So it's a lot closer to the stairs, and it's not so far away, like in a corner like that one was. So you may have a really good point, Gumball Gold, about the booth being too far from the main entrance. So that may resolve that issue. You desired a showcase. Yes, I did. I wanted a showcase, and I needed one that locked. But I ended up getting 3 showcases that lock and 2 that did not. So I'll have 5 showcases altogether. And this new booth is big enough, the one that I'm going to be getting is big enough that I'll be able to use all of my showcases. Invisible says, gives a professional effect. Yes, I agree. Brad says, are you going to open a store? No, I'm not going to open a store that I actually have to go in physically run myself. But I guess you could say that this flea market booth is a store, in fact, because, I'll be selling stuff out of it. The only thing is they take whatever they buy in my booth, because everything in my booth has a tag on it that has my booth number on it. And I was able to take my booth number from my old booth. The 37 is my booth number. I was able to take my booth number and use the same booth number in my new location, in both locations. So both locations, I'm going to still be booth 37, so I don't have to relabel anything that I'm taking from the Wetumpka location. So that is good news for me, and it'll help me out a lot. I won't have to move as much. But I don't want to. I'm retired, so I don't want to run a store. But I don't mind setting up a flea market booth where everything is already out and displayed, and people can just pick it up and take it to the front and buy it. Now they will, be getting rent for that spot every month. For the spot that I got, the smaller spot was going to be $220 a month. The one that I showed in the video last week. So that was $220 a month. The new spot I got that's almost double. It's almost double the size of the first spot that I was going to be in. Is going to be $250 a month. So I think I'm more than happy to pay $250 a month to have that much more space where I can put stuff, because the more space you have, the more inventory you can bring in and the more that you will sell. But I think with me being, I think there's only one other booth that's going to have video game consoles, and that already has video game consoles and video games. So I will be one of two booths in the whole place that will have video game consoles and video games. And I'll have all of them. I'll have the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, 3, 4. I won't have any PlayStation 5 because that's a little bit too new and rich for my blood. I've never actually seen a PlayStation 5 in person. But I'll have the original Xboxes, the Xbox 360s, all of those versions, different versions of the 360s. And of course, we'll have the Nintendo Entertainment Systems and the Super NESs, and all the games that go with all of those systems I will have, and I will be selling in my booth. So I'm thinking it's going to do really well, and I'm going to make my booth a little bit unique. So I think once word starts getting out that I'm going to be having those type of things in the booth, I think I'll get a lot of people coming just to see that stuff. Will Smith says hello. And he says he is the smarter brother. Okay. And Marty says she is tired. I hope I'm not making you tired, Marty. Signs look cool. Nice. They saw. Oh yeah, that's right. You did see those in the video. You saw those beer signs, and I have sold almost all of those signs. I only have about 3 signs left. KI4LWN. That's William, my brother. That's his call sign. He's a ham radio operator. I won. Woohoo. Oh, you won your auction. What did you win? Let's see. 1883 CC Morgan silver dollar. And what did you pay for it? The new booth will be much closer for you. Yes, absolutely. That is another benefit of having to move is that I'm not having to drive all the way out to Wetumpka. Like I was saying, Wetumpka is a good 30-minute drive. The flea market booth that I'm currently in is a good 30-minute drive from my current location. So yeah, I have to drive 30 minutes and 30 minutes there and 30 minutes back just to go check on my booth. And it's a lot easier to go to Eastbrook Flea Market, which is here in Montgomery. And it's, I would say Eastbrook is about maybe 4 4.5 miles from where I live. So that makes it a lot easier. And I can go visit my booth a lot more often and restock inventory and that sort of thing. So yeah, that's a really good point, Brad. Invisible River says, sounds like fancy tags for the stuff. Fancy tags? What do you mean? Are you saying that the tags that I use in the booth are fancy? I'm having trouble understanding. You give them a percent. At the booth, the new flea market I'm going to, one of them gets a percentage. The one at the boutique where I'll be selling the clothing, they'll get a percentage like 4% of my sales. But the other one at Eastbrook Flea Market, they don't get a percent of my sales. They just get my monthly booth rent. That's it. I did have one negative thing though about moving to Montgomery is I had to get business licenses in order to operate a business in Montgomery. Any kind of business, you have to have a business license. When I was in Wetumpka, the store had a business license, and that took care of all the vendors in the store. So Montgomery is a greedy city. I mean, they are a really greedy city, and they are requiring every booth to have a business license. Even though I'm the same person, I have to have a business license for both locations. And those business licenses were not cheap. I had to pay like $130 per business license. It's a good thing that the boutique is offering for me to get my first month's free. So that kind of takes care of the cost of the business license for that, being able to be in there for that first month for free. Brad says he likes the business model. Thank you. More. Corner of the market is good. Yeah, I agree. And I want to be the person that people come to for the retro video game consoles here in Montgomery. There's not really a whole lot of places that you can go and find good, decent priced video game consoles and video games. So I'm thinking that this will do really good at this location, and I'm really excited about doing the flea market booths. This is a really totally new venture for me. So I've never done anything like this before, and it is kind of scary when you go into something that you've never done before. But the only way to find out if you can do it is to try it, right? So that's what I've been doing with when I opened up my first Airbnb. It was a little bit scary at first because I was like, what if I don't get any guests in the Airbnb? But I ended up opening 3 Airbnbs total, and those Airbnbs stayed booked constantly, and I was making really good money with the Airbnbs. And then when I said, well, I'm going to start selling on eBay, and at first I didn't really think I would make very much selling off of eBay. Certainly didn't think I would be making like 60,000 a year, which is pretty close. I made like 58,000 last year selling on eBay and just doing it part-time. I can only imagine what it would be like if I did it full-time, which I do not have any intention of ever doing anything full-time again, because I retired for a reason, because I didn't want to work anymore. So my goal in life going forward is, as a retiree, is to enjoy life and not to be on that wheel running around and chasing my tail all the time after almighty dollar. Almighty dollar is not worth all the headaches and the health issues that are caused when you worry too much about stuff. So that's why I got debt free, is because I didn't want to have to worry about, am I going to have to make a mortgage payment every month? Am I going to have to pay rent every month? I mean, the only thing I have to worry about every month is water, electricity, gas, and internet. That's all. That's all my bills. I do have a payment on the van, but it'll be paid off this year. So, I'm really looking forward to having that. Marty says you're not making me tired. Okay, well, good. Thank you. Invisible River Ranch, $1,500. Indian Territory. It's not just you have the games. You do the games. Yes, that's right. That's a good point. Invisible River Ranch. I don't just have the games. The consoles, I actually repair them too. That's one of my side hustles that I like to do. And the thing about this, as I was saying earlier, it's not about chasing the dollar, because I really don't have to have the income that I'm getting from any of these side hustles, but it's kind of like a game, and it's kind of like I'm playing a board game or something like Monopoly, to see how much I can do, and how far it goes. And, it's interesting to be able to watch something grow from nothing and actually turn into something that you could actually, I mean, if I wanted to, I could actually make a living out of selling on eBay part-time. A lot of people do. And that's, to me, that's just amazing in a country like America, where you have people that are homeless, living on the streets, and just making one bad decision right after the other. I think anybody in America can pull themselves up by their bootstraps and make a living and take care of their financial needs, as long as they're not living outside of their ability to pay. Live within your means all the time. That's what I always say is, live within your means. Don't get saddled down with debt that you can't afford, to buy things that you don't need, and to impress people, because they're really not impressed. So Brad says, good advice. Thank you, Brad. I appreciate the compliment. That's the link. Okay. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to doing the flea market booth and setting it up. And to be honest with you, our friends, Rat's Stash, are a big inspiration for me in setting up the flea market booths. If you go to their YouTube channel, and if you're new, and if you're watching this after the live stream is over, and you're not familiar with Rat's Stash, look it up on YouTube, Rat's Stash, and watch their videos. They've had posted a lot of videos about going out and finding things to resell, and they have been really big doing these flea market booths for quite some time. They've got 4 booths currently, and so they've been kind of an inspiration for me as far as doing something like this and starting a new adventure or a new venture. It's really a lot of fun, and really enjoy watching them do that. Let's see. 1316 plus buyer's fee and postage is $1,500. Be here on Wednesday. Is that what you paid for that coin? Oh my gosh. You paid $1,500 for one coin. Well, if you're a collector, and there are a lot of collectors out there, then it would be worth it for sure. Because if you were to ever resell it, you could probably get back what you put into it, if not more. Yes, nobody cares. Renee and Todd from Rat Stash are wonderful, compassionate people. just like Sam. Thank you very much, CG. That is very kind of you to say that. You're on vacation. Your vacation is your vacation. I like that. I really like. Let's see. Let me say that again. You're on vacation. Your vacation is your vacation. Yeah, every day when you're retired, and if you did it right. Now, and I'm not condemning anybody who made mistakes along the way, because we all made mistakes along the way. But if you did it right, then you really don't ever have to worry about money again for the rest of your life if you retired and you did it right, because you'll be able to get a steady income, and the income is going to be sufficient for your expenses. And so that's where I'm at right now with my pension. My pension provides all the money that I need to take care of my expenses. All this other stuff is just icing on the cake, and it's a lot of fun. But it's like I said, it's like a game, to see how much I can do, how far I can go, and what I can do with it. And I think with not having the pressure on me to make this work, it makes it easier and actually makes things flow better and causes it to be more successful because I'm not worried about it. Invisible River says, I used to metal scrap in Florida. Yeah, a lot of people do that too. I mean, you're not going to make a ton of money metal scrapping, but you're not going to make a ton of money on YouTube unless you're some kind of really famous YouTuber and you get millions of views. Um, but it's something that my wife and I do it together. We get scrap metal. We collect scrap metal from our neighborhood, or if we see a pile of metal sitting on the side of the road, we'll pick it up and we'll just keep it till we get enough to go to the scrapyard. We'll take all that metal to the scrapyard and cash it in, and it'll be enough money to take care of buying food and litter for the cats, if that's, it really helps out. Nothing out here in the desert. Not many people. That's true. Could sell it for 2,500. Oh, you can sell that coin that you just bought for 15 for 25, so you'll be able to make $1,000 on one sale. That's not bad. Outdoors Dreadhead, welcome, brother. Good to see you on here. So I've been keeping up with your videos and enjoying watching them and leaving comments, because it's really important to that algorithm that you leave comments. So you guys tonight, please be sure and give me a like and leave me some comments after we get off the live stream. Just go back into the comments section and leave some comments. If you don't mind, I'd appreciate it. It really helps with the algorithm. Marty Baker, I'm a collector too. I got B. Anthony coin and $2 bills. Yeah, you know what, Marty? I have a whole stack of $2 bills. I think I've got about $100 worth of $2 bills that I collected. I've been collecting them for over 30 years. So I got most of my $2 bills from when I worked at a convenience store running a register. And whenever anyone would come in with a $2 bill, I would exchange it for the cash that I had in my pocket and put my cash in the register and take the $2 bill. Maybe 3,000 with a coin book. Wow, that's a pretty big good turnaround on your money there. You really like them expeditions to Arizona? Yes, I do. I love going to Arizona. I like the traveling, and I like getting out. As a matter of fact, speaking of traveling, next weekend I'm going to Tennessee, to Rugby, Tennessee, to R.M. Brooks General Store. I have a couple of videos on my YouTube channel. Look them up if you can and watch them, about R.M. Brooks General Store. It's a general store that was originally opened in the early 1900s, around the turn of the century. And so a lot of this stuff in the store is still kind of set up like it was, in the 1920s and 30s. It's a really cool place, and they're going to be having a hot rod show this coming weekend. So they're going to have a lot of really cool cars there, and I plan on taking some video while I'm there. Lots of video. Outdoors says he's at his summer camp job, and it's so amazing there. Yeah, I was with Outdoors in Quartzsite, Arizona, when we went to the Big Tent, and that's where he found out about this camp hosting job that he's going to be working up there. And I forget the name of the place where you're at. Can you remind me what the name of that place was? I made a lot. Was hundreds of dollars a month easy. My coin that I love, I won't sell that one, but I will play with it. Okay. It's a real special coin. Cool Tennessee trip. Have fun on your trip. Thank you, Marty. Yep. So I'll be getting back in the van. You guys, do you remember what my van's name is? Let's see if anybody can tell me what my van's name is. Who can tell me first what the name of my van is? The Great Outdoors. Yes, I love the Great Outdoors, and I'm going to be staying for 2 days. Right there. Did y'all see that? When I put my fingers up like this, it put balloons in the picture. I wonder if it'll do it again. I love it. I love it. So anyway, I'll be staying in the campground behind the general store. I wonder if it'll do anything with this. Just this. I didn't know it would do that. That's cool. So I'll be staying in the campground behind R.M. Brooks General Store. They have a campground there. They actually have, and this is in Rugby, Tennessee, and they have a like a house that's built in the tree. It's a tree house, and you can camp in it, and it's pretty cool. But anyway, I'll be staying in my van, and I'll be cooking some of my meals there in the campground right there by my van. So I'll be camping right next to another YouTuber, and the other YouTuber, his YouTube name, if you haven't checked him out, go check him out. The name of his channel is called the Appalachian Channel, or Appalachian Channel, however you want to pronounce it. And he has 183,000 subscribers, so he's a pretty big channel now. And he does a lot of stuff about old country stores and Appalachian stuff. So I'll be camping right next to him. He and I are friends, and so we'll probably have a few meals together while we're there. Do you like to go fishing? Yes, I do. And Brad got the name of my van correct. Her name is Ethel. It's a Benz. That's right. It's a Mercedes Benz. It's a Sprinter van. The balloons are really sweet. Thank you, Sichi. You're in Outdoors is in Flaming Gorge National Park. And what state is that in? I bet the weather is nice up there. It's probably gotten really, I mean, it's probably still cool, but not too hot. So sounds like a great place to go. Man, I would love to do camp hosting. That would be a lot of fun, to go somewhere and be able to park for free and stay in the place. The only thing you still have responsibilities. You have to make sure everybody is, I guess, in their correct spots, or and the facilities are taken care of. But I think that's pretty cool to be able to do that. Go anywhere in the country, national parks and that sort of thing, and camp host. Be able to stay there for free. It's like you're on vacation. So Outdoors is really living the good life. Check his channel out too, Outdoors Dreadhead. Now you got to find the setting. What are you doing tomorrow? What am I doing tomorrow? Well, tomorrow I'm going to start moving a couple of my shelves and maybe a couple of glass cases into one of my booths and storing it there until the 1st, because I can't really start moving my merchandise into the booths until after the 1st. Visible River says Saguaro Cactus East National Park is 3 miles down the road. Okay. I love Arizona. It's a beautiful state, and I wouldn't mind living in Arizona. It's the people are really nice, kind people out there, and just enjoy it out there. Marty says her mom says hello. Okay, well, tell her I said hello as well. Well, guys, it looks like I have been on here over an hour now, so my time limit is usually about an hour. I try to keep it to an hour. I appreciate all of you being on tonight. I appreciate your comments, and it's really nice to have you on. Make sure you, if you haven't already liked this video, like it, give me a thumbs up, and after we get off the live stream, don't forget to leave me a comment. Go back and leave me a comment. It really helps with my algorithm. But I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and I hope you have a great week, and I will be back next Sunday at 7:30 Central Standard Time, and I'll be giving you guys an update on the new booth. Well, you know what? I will be live next Sunday, but I should be back here by 7:30 p.m. I'll be traveling on Sunday, coming back from Tennessee. If for some reason I'm not able to do a live stream next Sunday, I'll do one the following Sunday. But I do plan on, at this point, I do plan on having a live stream next Sunday at 7:30. But I'll give you an update. I'll give you guys some updates on the flea market booths, and I'll also give you some updates on the Orenbrook store and my camping and how that went, because I'll be coming back. I will be traveling on Sunday. I should be back in time to have my live stream, but if for some reason I don't make it back in time, then you'll see me the week after that. But anyway, want to thank you all individually. Thank you, Invisible River. Appreciate your loyalty and being here every time that I'm here. It's really great to have you on, and you are always engaging in conversation, and I appreciate it. Gumball Gold, thank you so much for being on. Outdoors Dreadhead. Marty Baker, my #1 fan. My brothers Brad and Butch, we call him Butch, but his actual name is William. CG Enemy fan, thank you for being on tonight. I really appreciate you being on. And also Brent Mania, thank you for coming in tonight and spending a little bit of time with us. It's always good to hear from you guys, and I really enjoy doing these live streams. And it's like I was telling you about just getting into doing stuff like that's the same thing with the YouTube. Brent, all you got to do, if it's something that you're passionate about, you're really interested in doing it just to see where it goes, then just, put out some videos and put out a couple of videos and see how it goes. Don't worry about what people think or what they might say, because their opinions really don't matter. What matters is, are you chasing your dreams? Are you doing things that you want to do for yourself. So you get out there and if that's what you want to do, put out some videos, because you'll definitely get me to watch them. I will definitely watch them. But you guys take care. Have a great week and a great night. And I will see you guys next week, 7:30, hopefully. If for some reason I don't do it, then check with me the following week, because I will be there. But I do plan on being live next Sunday. So take care, guys. Love you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.